the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the second episode of This is CorbinCenter, and it must be working because first and foremost, let's over 100 views, and we're going to get to that, but we got to acknowledge this, but also somebody that we want to acknowledge here with a special little recognition. Loopy, this one goes to you now. You've been definitely a big supporter of mine, which I really appreciate. You're a Patreon. And also the reason why I want to recognize you is because for the 3 months that I was hurt, you checked in on me almost every week, and that really means a lot, and I really appreciate it. So I want to give you some recognition to let you know, and I always appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video that I gave you at WrestlePalooza, which is awesome, a little up close and personal. It looked really great from my angle. So that's awesome. So I really appreciate it. So you're the person I'm giving recognition to, but we have so much to talk about. Let's jump right in. I just said, This is CorbinCenter reached 100 views. So obviously this is doing way better than what I was doing with the Madden stuff, which is great. And I don't mind that. I'm not personally offended by it. The deal is when you do feel like you fail, you live and learn and you change things up. And I wanted to make something that was more appealing to all of you. And it seems like we are making this role. Not only that, but my video with Matt Honey for Pro Wrestling Battleground, that one almost got to 100 views. And I just checked right before I filmed this. And that means that we have hit we've hit a goal that I've wanted to hit for a long time. 1,100 subscribers. You did it. You made this happen. And I am going to continue to give you quality content so that you can keep enjoying this. And also for those of you who want a little bit more, like I said, behind the scenes, you can go and check out my Patreon. Now with that said, a couple things I've touched base on. I did do a little bit of my Patreon version of CorbinCenter of these two shows. But I just want to fill you in a little bit. As you know, I went to Mondo Lucha. Now, I was bummed that I missed the Turner Hall show, so I wanted to make an impact at Mondo Lucha, and I did just that. And here's the best part that I love about this. Mondo Lucha has always been a bizarro world. The idea that somebody like me, can be liked there is very, yeah, that's bizarre. That's the definition of bizarre. But I wanted to make things right in the universe, and I wanted to switch things around. So when people are like, why, Darren? Why? Why did you turn your back on Mondo Lucha? Why did you turn on Matt Cross and the Beast? Everyone likes them. Everyone liked you, and I'm sorry, but it's just in my nature. I wasn't coming back here for sympathy. That's not the deal. You're not going to see me out from injury, return, have an epic Triple H style run where now everyone loves me. I don't care about that. All I cared about was getting back in the ring. And then the big part is you know I missed Turner Hall. You know that it bummed me out to miss Turner Hall. It's one of the only times I had FOMO in the time I was injured. And this time, I have a match already set up for September 8th at Mondo Lucha. So that, I did exactly what I wanted to do. And you can be upset at me all you want, but you know that's just my nature. Are you really going to act surprised? And then I went out to faced Matt Honey in a first time ever matchup at the Pro Wrestling Battleground's anniversary. Now the funny thing is I thought about this. I was like, I haven't been to Pro Wrestling Battleground in a long time. And actually, Pro Wrestling Battleground hadn't run shows since I got hurt. So it's like we never missed anything. It was like just a gap. They took time off. I had to take time off. And now we're back together. And as you know, they just dropped the poster for February 25th, which I will be there. And I'm so happy Bucky Collins will be there. So if you're a Minnesota fan and you haven't got to see Bucky Collins yet, I definitely want you to check out this show. That's the biggest thing. So if you have the option that you can, that would be great. That's amazing. That's awesome. This is what I want to do. Now this match with Matt Honey, the crowd, this was a pretty good crowd that we had here at Pro Wrestling Battleground, I gotta say. I was very much into it. The one thing that I kind of noticed is it was predominantly Matt Honey because his family still is not sick of him yet, so they come to shows and they still check him out. But old crafty Darren Corbin picked up the victory and won this match. Now, that means that for this this month, this is actually a pretty decent comeback. The only match I lost, the tag match at Mondo Lucha, I didn't take the pinfall. So quite frankly, I've not been pinned since coming back. Let's just make sure we know these little details, that we have that. So excellent little variety there. The recap here has been amazing, absolutely amazing. I am looking forward to it, and things are picking up. And by that, what I mean is, let's look at my upcoming schedule here. So real quick, I'm going to be in 4 different states. I actually just confirmed one not too long ago. I'm going to be at AWF in Clear Lake on February 4th, so you'll see me there. I return to freelance wrestling on February 10th. I'm going to be involved in a gauntlet match where I'm going to stop Storm Mason's chances of trying to win the freelance championship, and with good measure. I love crushing dreams, especially for these young kids out there. I'm a former freelance champion. I had to work real hard to be taken seriously to be a freelance champion. And this kid, look, Storm, you're great. You look great. You got potential. You're great. But you had the championship, and then you thought Mick Foley was your friend, and you lost the match because you thought Mick Foley was going to be on your side. And sure enough. And then I go out to the Level Up Convention. We mentioned this a little bit. 3 shows that I will be doing for the Level Up Convention in Las Vegas. One of my favorite places to visit. Can't wait to be back out there. So I look forward to a Vegas trip, also with 3 shows, which is going to be good. And then finally coming back and doing Pro Wrestling Battleground at the end of the month on the 25th. So if you know that I will be in Wisconsin, Illinois, Nevada, and Minnesota, 4 states next month. And this is what I wanted. I wanted to pick back up with things. So I was really looking forward to this. Really interested in it. Not going to Iowa, not going to Cedar Rapids, but if you've been following me on Twitter, you know that the Fusion have been doing pretty good. Made it to the Super Bowl for the 2nd straight time, but now they're looking to try and go for the 3-peat. And unfortunately, they did not win last year. So this is going to be a big trial year for Tyson T. Romeo to make sure that he can do it, lead this team as quarterbacks. There's definitely been some promise with Conan Ramsblood. Again, follow along when I'm playing. Check me out on Twitter. I was doing a little thing yesterday. The season's almost up, and we are going to be going into the next time that I play. It's going to be wrapping up the playoffs on season 6. So we're going to see a lot of things up in the air. It all depends on how these playoff runs go. Now, this next little thing that I want to do, this segment, it was met with a lot of fanfare, and I really liked it. A lot of people brought some information back to me, which I really appreciate. I actually wanted to change the name. At first, we were going to call it a little bit with the dirt credibility and clickbait, which I thought was pretty clever. But my consultant offered to change it to Let's Get Dirty. So that's kind of how it is, his little dirt sheet take. So again, I fed him a little bit of a story that happened within the past week, and I wanted to go through that and discuss that and send it to him. And I said, here's what happened. And again, this is the information that I got back for him trying to make a clickbait headline. Yeah, so the big rumor that's going around is that the big boss man that's for AEW is Tony Khan, and he's been having these crazy drug-infused parties, you know, like he's been doing all the stuff. He buys people alcohol, which is crazy, because when I bought alcohol for my kids, they were like, you can't do that because he's underage and all that stuff. So the biggest thing that I want to advise is, like, apparently some people were rubbed the wrong way. A lot of people they frowned upon this. Now, when I was invited back in the 70s, when I was in as a new consultant, I got invited to numerous different spots. So I'm all familiar with these Tony Khan style parties. Like there was lines on the table. There was all the weed and all that stuff. And we used to call it the sticky icky is what we used to call it. But you know, it's nothing new in the world of wrestling. Like apparently, by what I've been reading ever since I teamed up with Corbin, is that this is super common. All these drug parties, because like, how do you go from town to town to town? You got to get fueled. Yeah, I mean, even Bullhead told me, like, they used to have really crazy parties. He was one time up for 96 hours straight and wrestled 8 matches. So what I'm trying to say here is Tony's been throwing these crazy parties that rival the 70s. It's like Studio 54 in here, but I guess Studio AEW in here. And Tony, all I'm trying to say here is next time you have a wild party, you got my number, okay? So yeah. And also people really, another thing too, not directly related, but people are really having a hard time with the M&M not looking sexy, I guess. I've never really looked at the M&Ms and been like, oh yeah, that's a sexy M&M. And apparently people are really upset that they took away the green one's boots. So I don't really know what's that about, because people want to be having the sex, I guess, with the candies. But they have that hard shell, so it's almost impenetrable, you know, like maybe if you did the other way, I guess, you know. But then you'd have to use a peanut one. But what I'm saying is like, sexiness of candy comes in all different shapes and sizes. So I'm not one to just judge. It's not a color thing for me. It's not a shape thing for me. But it's definitely kind of weird that a lot of people, back in my day, no one was banging M&Ms. They were mostly doing Starbursts because you could puncture a little hole and then you could be like, yo, the juice is loose. But yeah, those are the rumors that have been flying around. So click on my two headlines here. One for Let's Get Dirty. One, Khan has creepy, wild cocaine parties or whatever it is. And then the second one is people want to bang M&Ms together. So yeah. You know, some people just never learn. And then also, as you know, one thing that I like to do is I've always done this thing with my P.O. box when people send me fan mail or hate mail. But I did get a letter today, and it's from somebody that I've worked very closely with, which is Stuck on You Cartoons. First of all, amazing artist. Freddie, you are an amazing artist. And I opened this up, and, you know, I appreciate it so much, like these samples of your work. Your unique ability, your unique style is why I was drawn to have you draw me, I guess is the way I want to put it. I want to give you a big shout out here today too. I absolutely love the designs that you do. And I will go on record, by the way, read this. Great to see that you're a fan of Snapchat. I don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. So I'm going to keep them rolling. And I also would love to work with you and collaborate more and do some more stuff sticker-wise, because you do great work. And so I just want to let everyone know this is something that I got in my P.O. box, which is awesome. So if you send me stuff in my P.O. box, I will open it on this show rather than a separate thing. We'll do it in Corbin Center, and we have everything ready to go. So again, thank you so much. This week recap coming up here. I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. I'm not wrestling, but I have just a nice little vacation plan to go see one of my best friends. So that is the plan that I have coming up. So when we recap next time on This is Corbin Center, we'll probably have some details of what happened over the past week. I want to just kind of recap and cover a lot of stuff that I thought was big for me. Again, getting back in the ring and having my first tag and singles match, and then how busy February is shaping up to be, which I'm really excited for. So thank you for all your support. Thank you for 1,100 subscribers. Let's get this video to 100 views, if not more. And I look forward to communicating with you and checking in this time next week.